I thought I'd show you a day in my life, from book writing to photography, cafe life to gardening, and also an incredibly exciting upcoming growing project, all thanks to this video's sponsor, ASUS. I start my days early. I've always loved early mornings. I take my dog for a run around on the beach at around 7 AM, and then as soon as my favourite local cafe is open at 8, I go for a coffee, check up on my emails, and crack on with writing one of 2 upcoming books. On some mornings, I also make time to work on video scripts and plans for future YouTube videos, and this incredible Asus ZenBook S13 OLED laptop delivers the clarity and performance I need to make the most out of every single session and really helps get things done. Not to mention, it is stunning. Have you ever seen such a laptop look like this before? It has a look that reminds me of a natural slate and feels stony or ceramic. Very classy. As a Welshman, I always appreciate a nice bit of slate. Often I fit in a catch-up with a colleague during this time, for example my good friend Sam, where we can work a bit on strategy, our joint book project, and have incredible conversations about what to make next in the test kitchen. Once I'm fueled with a black Americano, mocha, or chai latte, or all 3, it's time to head to the garden. We have 2 garden sites, in fact, the original kitchen garden, which is around 30 minutes from home, and the new project, which is only 10 minutes down the road. Whilst I'm at the garden, I often have to film YouTube videos, review video edits from my team, edit photos I've taken, and enter data from our trials, but most importantly, I always have time to lose myself in the joy of gardening, either with my fantastic colleagues or by myself. Now, being truthfully honest, this video is more of a, if you took my life and put it kind of together as an average day, that's probably what it is. No such thing as average, especially this time of year in the garden. It's so stunning, there's so many things happening, lots of propagation, lots of seed sowing, lots of mulching, everything is just bursting into life, and so there's things like having to make sure that things are being watered, and yeah, it's just seeing how every time I come to the garden every single day, you see the growth. It's very inspiring. Most of the growing, most of my days are powered by curiosity as motivation. A couple of fun projects that we're doing this year is we're doing some seed saving for the Wales Seed Hub, including a Welsh variety that's not been available before to growers for, well, decades from my knowledge, and continuing with our various garden amendments and fermentation that we're doing, inspired by Jadam and Korean natural farming. Hello, go on. I was going to say, as you know, most of my life is surrounded by gardening and nature and food, and also dogs. Thanks for reminding me that, Figu. And even though I do a lot of this stuff outside, there is very much a need for a lot of media and technology. But I am a big camera nerd, and so being a YouTuber about gardening is kind of a perfect match. It's a bit of a dream job. Being so technology based, I always need to make sure that I have my workhorse by my side, which is the Asus ZenBook S13 OLED laptop. And the hard part about technology is that it's such an essential part of our lives, but it's also pretty unsustainable. But for those of us who are trying to do our best and really care about the environment and sustainability and are looking for better options, the ZenBook S13 fits into that category nicely. Firstly, the laptop comes in 100% recyclable and recycled packaging, and it's made from ocean-bound and PCR plastics. And as someone who regularly uses seaweed when making hotbeds and composting and mulches, it's disheartening to see the amount of plastic that's caught in it when I'm gathering it from the beach. So I'm glad to hear that ASUS is taking action to combat ocean plastics, and it's setting a strong, much needed example. This laptop, it's so lightweight and compact, and it's hard to believe that it's military grade tested. But this little laptop is remarkably tough. I found that it's a perfect fit for me, given my constant on-the-go schedule. So whether it's doing workshops, heading down to the garden, or just popping to the cafe, it's just so light I don't really notice it in my bag. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be able to work on this fun video with the support of Asus. Their ZenBook S13 laptop has basically become my #1 accessory. Thanks to Asus, the proceeds from this collaboration are going to go towards a passion project that's going to become an everlasting feature here at Dan Aronen. We're planning to develop this very section of land into our own Welsh vineyards, and we can't wait to see what the future holds. So initially the space that we've marked out is 3/4 of an acre, which will be around 700 to 800 vines. And our passion, working especially closely with Sam, is to produce a natural wine. So we'll be growing around 8 to 10 different varieties. And yeah, the idea is to do it in a very regenerative way. We're going to use companion planting. We're going to really focus on making the vines as healthy as possible. But also, like this site is, it's an experimental site. And so, yeah, we cannot wait to see what the future holds. We have this season to plan it out, to do any soil testing, soil amending, and then we'll plant it kind of really early spring next year. Again, just like the orchard that we planted, we want the vineyard to have a lot of community involvement, and it's such a nice way to capture the flavours of the seasons and of the land, and to share it with people in the community. And so yeah, it's been a dream of mine for many, many years, and now it's happening. So thank you, Asus. Because of my passion for all things growing, I often find myself in flow state and I lose track of time pottering on with projects, often reminded by the setting sun, and I'm definitely grateful for these lengthening evenings. After a great day in the garden, I head home for another dog walk, perhaps fit in a game of squash if I'm lucky, maybe go for a swim in the sea, make supper and watch some YouTube, or more often than not, research all things gardening and regenerative agriculture. I don't own a TV, so once again my laptop comes in handy. With its 2.8K OLED HDR display, it is crystal clear and easy on the eyes, so I can comfortably watch this screen for hours. Some evenings I need to do a little extra work, putting it lightly, so I either head back to the garden or I'll head down to my local craft beer pub, Bottle and Barrel, to enjoy a nice ale as I continue reviewing edits for my next book, organising my calendar, and with a 14-hour battery life of the Asus, I still haven't had to charge it yet today, or take the charger even with me. And if I do have a little time at the end of the evening, I make sure I dip into a gardening or farming book at the end. That's an average day in the life, if an average day was a thing. A big thank you to Asus for letting me have a lot of fun with this video. My team and I enjoyed it, and also the future vineyards. And there is a link down below to check out the laptop. And watch this video if you want to find out more about my incredible team of colleagues.